Yes. Can anyone hear me? Hear me. Right. Mm, Hello? Oh, no, I think people can hear me. Looks like people can hear me. Let me double
Yes.
check. Glad I didn't say anything weird. Like, God. Um, for the past few weeks, it's been a will they, won't they relationship with my microphone. So I wanted to make sure that people could hear me before I got started. And I didn't see any motion in my microphone down there. And I'm like, but then I was highlighting. So thank you, Noella.
You're welcome.
All right, friends. Well, it's 6 o'clock. Well, 6 o'clock Central Time. So we're going to get started. This is the Investment Dominator training call to get you set up and ready to use your Investment Dominator and geared up to send out that first batch of letters. Yay. And then after we get done with that portion, we will go into a time of Q&A so we can kind of discuss some of the things we've learned today. So that. All right. So I'm going to share my screen here shortly. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. Allow some additional people to come on in the room so I don't have to start all over again. But I appreciate each and every one of you. If you need to get a drink of water or take a quick bio break, now is the time. So we'll get started once again in just a couple of minutes here to allow some additional people to come on in the room. All right, everyone, we are going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Jory. I am the Investment Dominator trainer here at Investment Dominator trainer to help you out with the software to get you started with Investment Dominator as a whole. So I don't know how many of you are brand new or if you are a part of this journey and you're just getting started. But today we're going to go over the basics of Investment Dominator, and then we are going to talk about like the prospect neutral letter, how you can get um, your deal flow is going. And I'm going to use a lot of terminology tonight as well. So I don't know. So you feel free if you have any questions. Hey, Sonia, thanks for saying you're brand new. Fantastic. I love brand new people. I love my seasoned people. It's just the new awe and wonder of it all. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. And on my screen, you will see Investment Dominator. All right. And as we're going along, you may have some questions. And as you're going over those questions, you can feel free to go ahead and put your questions in the chat. I will go ahead and take a look at them, and then we can connect on them as we go along. Alrighty. So again, this is Investment Dominator. This is the home page. So some of the things I want to point out as we're on this home page, some features are still hanging out in legacy because 2.0 is fairly new. And since it's new, we are rolling out 2.0 slowly but surely. So some features like looking for your um, domain names and things like that, we have an onboarding wizard and it's exclusively in legacy. So if you ever need to get to legacy, it's always on your home page. And how do you know you're on your home page? You would see this version toggle switch here. So this toggle switch, if you go in and you click legacy version, it will take you back over to the legacy version if you click continue. And so if you need your domains, just to let you know, you can still go through the onboarding wizard using the legacy version by going to customize wizard. Oh, the onboarding wizard isn't in here today. Okay, so there should be a setup wizard. So this is REI PrintMail. So there used to be a onboarding wizard here. So now I think at this point you'll have to send us a ticket with your domain names in it. So for us to go ahead and set them up. I'm sorry. So normally there was a onboarding wizard that was here. That was very helpful, but they're in the process of pointing that towards 2.0. So hopefully by the end of this week it will be in place. But if not, the domains, that's the main place you would want to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to go through step by step for everything else that you would see here. Okay. All right, so we're looking at the 2.0. So if you need to get back to 2.0, it's always on the home page. If you have questions about the home page, always look for the logo up here. This will always bring you back home. Even if you're in legacy, there's a logo up in the upper left-hand corner. So that will always bring you home. Okay. So next up here, we have the homepage here. You have a lot of information here, but today we're mainly going to focus on your settings. So we're going to head to settings and go to company. This is where you're going to see your company information. And one thing I want to point out about the drop down box. If you choose one option, all of them appear. So you have company, account, campaigns, records, and websites. Same thing here in the drop down. So we chose company because that's where we're going to start. The buying side of your business is the first side of your business. So you have the buying side of your business. This is acquisitions. This is where you're asking people, hey, I want to buy your land. And those people we hope will respond, okay, great, make me an offer. Okay. So one thing you will have here, you'll have like your company name. You're not required to start off with a company. You can start off by yourself with just your name if you'd like, and go from there. So you can kind of leave this blank. The next up is your company address. So your company address, you do not want that to be your home address. The reason being, if you use your home address, then that means that all of the thousands upon thousands of letters that you send out, those individuals have the propensity to have your address, and we don't want that to happen. So to protect yourself, you should get a virtual address or either go to the post office and ask for a suite number so that you can make sure that you're set there. Okay. The next thing is your email address. Your email address does not have to be domain specific or anything like that. It can be Gmail, Yahoo, whatever you're using that these days. In most cases, you won't be using your email address unless you are sending out offers and using DocuSign or something like that. So for the most part, until you're actually talking to these individuals, you won't use your email address. Just a word of just so you know that the email address does not appear on that prospect neutral letter. That's the marketing letter, the first letter that goes out to everyone, okay? But your company address does, and so does your company phone number. So for your company phone number, you want to make sure that this is a phone number that's not your personal cell phone because you'll get a lot of calls there. You're sending out, again, thousands upon thousands of marketing letters to individuals asking them, hey, I want to buy your land. And um, once they determine whether or not, then they can ask you to send them an offer. Okay. That's when the offer phone number comes in. So to be clear, you could use the same phone number for the buying side of your business if you're just getting started. Ideally, in a lot of the ways that they break this down, 3 phone lines can work, or you can just have 2. If you're using a call center to field all of the calls, like for your company phone number, you could also do that. There's like a virtual call center called Pat Live. Those individuals will field all of the phone calls that come in from those letters you send out, and they will basically screen those calls to determine if individuals want offers. The key is to return the phone call and send an offer to anyone that asks for one. So even if your company phone number starts off as a Google phone number and you just want to have a really good really good voicemail there to ensure that you're capturing everyone that's asking for offers. Okay. So next up here, we are looking at your company time zone. That's just basically what time zone do you want to do your business in? Is it your home time zone? Do you have if you're outside of the country, sometimes you may use a different time zone. Okay, but it's really up to you. So this time zone will be for you. Are you a real estate agent or a broker? Yes or no? So if you are, there's a disclosure that populates. You can edit that up to 800 characters. If you are not, you can just simply say no. You are not required to be a real estate agent or broker to do this business. Okay. So next up is your company offer email. Again, you can be the same email, just like here. Your offer phone number. So in the offer phone number, where that shows up is you send out this initial phone number to individuals saying, hey, can I buy your land? They'll call you and say yay or nay. If they say, send me an offer, you'll send them an offer and this offer phone number will appear. Again, this is totally optional, but as you grow in your business, I do recommend creating one at some point, or at least add like a second line so you can press 1 to request an offer and press 2 to negotiate your offer. So this is what that phone number is for, to negotiate those offers you sent out. So there's like, hey, I got your offer here. Let's talk about it. Okay. All right, so company notes, these are notes that you can put in about your company. They show up on the bottom of the letter, totally optional. Okay. All right, and on the selling side of the business, we have your company name if you choose to have one, a company email, again, for DocuSign if you're sending out, if you're accepting offers from individuals who say, yes, I want to purchase your land that you have for sale. And then also that company phone number that's the selling side. So that phone number will be for individuals to call you and say, hey, um, I see this property that you have online on your selling site. I would like to make you an offer. Okay. So, that. So that's the buying and the selling side in a nutshell. Technically 3 numbers, maybe just 2. Definitely a separate address, possibly a company name if you have one to get started, and possibly some email addresses. So that's really up to you. Okay. Alrighty. So this next section here is, it says account, but keep in mind, this is to access the account management center for Investment Dominator. So this is when you have a change that you want to make to Investment Dominator, you can access it through this page. Now, the reason why your email address and password, the one that you generally use for Investment Dominator or your student portal, will not work here is because your credit card information is stored here. So if you want to access the account section of Investment Dominator, because mind you, you're still an Investment Dominator, You'll click Forgot Password to go through the process of setting that up. Okay, alrighty. Here's campaigns. This is like information about what you have in your system. It's eventually, if you're sending out different types of letters or contracts, they'll show up here in your template. And then your records, you have stages, statuses for your records, deal flows. This is just basically any motion that you're doing with your records. Deal flows are, again, another word for the processes that you have for your records. If you're using the LPG neutral letter, the neutral letter is something that um, is the classic tried and true deal flow. So that's sending out the prospect neutral letter to individuals, then going through and um, following up with them. You send that mail letter one, and then as you move forward in the process, pending preliminary research, to research, send those individuals an offer. If they accept the offer, then you go into a space where you're going into open escrow, um, then ultimately selling it to someone else. Okay, so that's the entire lamplet. And then filters, if you have certain filters that you want to set up as you're researching your records. So this is all for once you have records in there. Okay. Once you have your website set up, your domain names and things will show up under this website section. If you go under the buying section, you can make changes to your website. Again, some of these features are being moved over from legacy, so some of them are in legacy exclusively. Okay. Here. All right. So the other section I want to point out, and normally I start here, is the profile section. And under your profile section, the only thing that's customer facing or client facing would be your email, your signature image. But here you have your information. What this is your personal information, so you do not want to change this information without letting us know, except for your password. You can make changes there. Your personal time zone, not the time zone that you're, doing business. You should see your name. You can add a profile picture if you like. Also, your email address, you want to make sure that you're using the same email address in this section. If you need to make a change to your email address in this section, please let us know so that we can make that change for you. It's tied to your land profit generator, whatever education package you purchased. So you do want to make sure that it's in alignment with that, as well as this is your personal phone number. Again, that's not customer facing. Okay. Views is something else, like once you have records in place, what that looks like. So if you like list view or card view, you'll make that determination once you're a little bit further along working with records. And then notifications. And here the notifications are pertaining to your buying site and your selling site. So under the buying site, you have land new offer requests. So this is someone that's asking you to make an offer on their property. So how would you like to receive that notification that someone visited your buying site? Okay. So do you want an email, a text message, or the mobile app? Okay. And then the marketing new prospect, that's the selling side of your business. So if someone visits your selling site and they put in a request, they would become a new prospect. And how would you like to receive that notification? Your email address, text message, or the mobile app. Okay. Now, I do know for a fact the mobile app works. So if someone sends you something, it's like if you have your notifications on with the sound, it's like a little cha-ching if someone asks for you to make an offer or asks to make an offer on something you have for sale. So that's just something on the in the notes to know what that sounds like and how that works. But it is available in both the Google Play and the Apple App Store. All right. So going back to the homepage here, I kind of worked backwards here today. If you were working with a team, they would all be listed here and all their lovely faces. If they all have a picture, if you click here, it'll just take you to the team. You'll have roles for those individuals. So it depends on if you're working for a team, you can kind of change the settings for those individuals. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pause here. That's kind of the everything in a nutshell. I kind of went through things quickly. I feel like may have missed something, but I'm going to take a look to see if there are any questions before we move forward here. Right. Okay, yes, there is an Investment Dominator mobile app, and it's available in Google Play and the Apple App Store. And Pat, I'm sorry you can't hear me. I don't know what's happening there. I turned myself up. I don't know if that was helpful at all. I thought my levels were kind of low. Okay, but things people can. Okay, oh, thank you, Noel. Okay, so that is Investment Dominator in a nutshell. So as far as your, bear with me just one moment. I'm sorry. All right. So as we're looking here at Investment Dominator, many of you have probably received um, them. Yeah, okay. And then also, if you have questions as I'm on this page, because I keep going back to Check Ring Central, if you have questions, you feel free to open up your microphone and ask questions as we're going along, because we're technically in the Q&A section now, session now. So keep that in mind. And again, if you have domains that you would like to choose, we do recommend going through and making sure those domains are available for purchase before making that decision. So make sure that you are make sure that you are able to um, use that domain name before you get started. Okay. So with that domain name, it can be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be specific to your business, but maybe it should be. I'm not entirely certain if you have, if you're working like with a coach or if you're in your quick start, I wouldn't overthink it too much, but you do want to kind of make it sound like what you're doing. But the thing is, like some of the easy ones, like I buy land and things like that, those are gone. So if you want to make something specific to your business or something that's close to you that sounds like land, go for it. Unfortunately, we're not able to give like recommendations or tell you what to do in that instance. And then also some of the things that we discussed tonight, they're just recommendations, they are not requirements. So like as far as using Quo or something like that for the phone service, you're not required to do that. It's just a recommendation that's used to be called open phone. You also can use open phone, sorry, for your of the virtual addresses. You can use like iPostal, or I already mentioned that you can go to the post office and ask them for a suite number or something like that. But if you're not into going to the post office every day to check your mail, then you can do a virtual address. Virtual addresses, they'll email it to you, they'll scan it in and email it to you. If it's something that you want to receive, then you are able to go and do that. Okay. Here. All right. So in here we have, oh, I have a hand up. Go ahead and open your microphone. You can go back here. I have to keep switching pages to go back and see everything. Somebody has their hand up. Is that, let's see, Rashida? Go ahead, open your mic. You can say something.
Good evening, Jory. Thank you for. I wasn't sure if you were talking to me when you said go ahead and open your mic. So, I wanted to ask you. I have a prospect in my Dominator that has no name, and so I um did make a support ticket, and the support person told me that it's possible that it's spam. I did get the APN number and other information, but there's no name, and the value of the land has a zero. So they said that they tried to keep spam out, but it's possible that it could be spam. So what I did is I went through all of my prospects to see if I had another one like that just to make sure. And I found several with just one name. Is that a
Okay.
problem? I mean, it's like it's just one name. It doesn't say LLC. It doesn't I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can probably look on Land ID. I can probably find the person's full name, but in my Dominator, it just has one name, and I have like 9 of those. Because I went through all of them. I wanted to make sure if I had a problem, I only send one support ticket with one. I didn't want to say, well, I found one, I found one, I found one. So I just went through it to let them, so I could let them know I have 9 people with only one name, just one name as the owner's name.
Okay. So you're saying that you have multiple properties with the same owner. Is that what I'm understanding?
Not the same owner. It's just that each one of these people only have one name under the owner's name.
Okay. Okay. They have
And it
one
does
name under.
LLC. It doesn't say Sharon Robinson. It just says Sharon, or it just says Robinson. It doesn't have a complete name,
Okay.
and it doesn't say
So
Sharon LLC. It just says Sharon.
does it have a phone number or an email address like to contact them?
No, they're all prospects. So I don't have that information. I'm thinking that I could probably go to land.id or even the assessors or something like that to see if I can find a whole name. But I just wanted to make that mention because, you know, that's more work that I mean, sort of more work that I have to do that um possibly I wouldn't have to do if the whole name had been listed in my Dominator.
So does it have, did you import that record or did someone visit your
No,
buying site and put that information in?
no, I didn't import it. I got it from the leads with my credits.
Okay, so you import, if you have,
I mean, I'm
if
saying
you,
I didn't go to the assessor's office, get the information, and put it into the Dominator. I got it from the Dominator. That's what I'm saying.
right. So when I say import, I'm just meaning that um, you went through actions and then into Wizards,
I went
excuse me,
to
went into Wizards
Wizards,
and
yeah,
Five
five
Deal.
deals. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I got it.
So it was imported through our service and it just has a first name. It doesn't have a last name. Is that what I'm hearing?
Or it just has one name. I don't know if it's some of them I don't know if it's a first or a last name. Like one is like William. I don't know, it's just one name. That's the thing that I'm saying, not
Okay.
the whole name.
Interesting. So you said you opened up a ticket for this one?
No, I opened up the ticket for the one that didn't have a name at all. So when I
Okay.
went to go back to see if I had more that didn't have names, I saw the ones that only had one name.
And so that one also
I
came through the Investment Dominator data service?
Correct.
Okay. Did you put like the ID number in there for that record for that ticket?
Yes, I did.
Okay. We okay, I can make myself a note to pull that up and see if that's still in like I'm just gonna pull your ticket and take a look at it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and make sure that we didn't miss something with that. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Rashida. So I'm gonna go back and see if I can find that. If you can send me like a private chat and just put your last name in there so that I can make sure I can pull that. information
Okay. And I
for
also
your ticket.
sent us a screenshot too of it listed in my campaigns because I don't know how I got it into my follow-ups, but it's there. But I took a screenshot and you can see that it has the box is filled except for the name.
Okay. And I'm wondering if the one without a name, was that a business or was it just the name?
I don't know. It just doesn't have a name. But the other nine that only have one name, I haven't sent a ticket for that yet.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll take a look at that. Thank you so much for, again, bringing that to our attention.
Thank you. I appreciate you being available for these questions.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something new, so we all need help sometimes, and sometimes this is a discovery call for me even. So, especially with the new changes with 2.0. All right. So let's see. I think I have a couple more hands open, and I see something in the chat now. Um, but if people who have their hands up, go ahead and go for it. Okay, I've got Dale and Laurel and Dominique.
Dale and Laurel here.
Hi, Dale and
Uh,
Laurel. How?
Hi. We got on a little late because the link wasn't working, so we had to call and find out we could copy and paste and then get on.
Oh
Anyway,
my.
so we're still trying to figure the Dominator out, but it looks like we got a lot of the input. It somehow went into the legacy, but we really want to be on the 2.0, don't we? Version.
Yes, you do want to start using the 2.0 version as soon as possible. So the 2.0 is going to be the primary way to use Investment Dominator.
Okay, but when I click on the 2.0, I can't figure out how to get it to prompt to ask for the information to fill in.
So when you're in Investment Dominator, you're in the legacy version, and when you toggle to 2.0 and it doesn't come over.
Yeah, when I do it doesn't like you click on actions and nothing happens, and I can't
Okay.
figure out how to get our data into the 2.0. But click on legacy, it's there, but
So when you come over to 2.0, you're saying that you've had legacy before, and so when you toggle over to 2.0, does it open up to a page that looks like this?
it does open up the page, yeah, but I can't, under settings, I can't get the like our data, addresses, emails, and so forth to and websites to get generated in it. But
So
we,
if you click company like this, you can't see any of your information in here.
I can't get the websites to get plugged in and so forth. Where do you go?
Okay.
Do you go to setting? Yeah.
So since I can't have you share your screen in here, are you able to send us a ticket to kind of go over what so that we can take a look at your account to see what may be happening? Because when
Yes.
you toggle over to 2.0, you should see like the home page here. And then if you go
Mm-hmm.
to settings, company, all of your information should populate. It should have carried over. And it sounds like it did not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're saying it better than I did. Yeah. Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
okay. It's
We'll do
quite
it.
all right.
We'll do a
Okay.
ticket. Thank you.
Okay, great. And then we can take a look to see what might be happening there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Okay. And then Dominique, I think you had your hand up, and then I'm going to slide into going through importing records and the next part here.
Okay, so I just kind of chimed into class. I do live in Chicago, so when something just told me to check the site, it did say 7 o'clock p.m., but I was just like, sometimes it's really a little bit earlier than the time frame, but I don't know if I'm asking maybe the same question as Rashida, but so I did generate my list, but I'm
Mhm.
kind of confused. So I got my counties. and then I generated a list of 200 leads. Now I'm trying to find out how to, do I mail those list of leads?
Yes.
And then
So if you
how do I do that?
Okay, that's the perfect segue, and that's also going to help with Sonia as well. So if you're in Investment Dominator and you have your system, so I'm going to go back to the home page so everybody can see it from the beginning. So I'll hit
Okay.
the Investment Dominator if you ever get lost, you're up here. So here's the home page. So if you go to prospecting, and just like when you imported those leads, you'll head over to Wizards, find deals, and then that's going to open up this page. So
Right.
most of you, whatever type of package you had, has some leads that are included. So we're just going to go through really quickly and just kind of show you how that flow works. So we're going to define new criteria. It's very transparent about how many credits you have, how many you used this month, how many you have left over. So everyone's will look a little different. So we're going to go to next. And then here you're going to choose where you want to import your records. Where do you want to cast your net? Okay. So I'm just going to quickly go to Florida because I know Florida is pretty fruitful, and we're going to choose a random county. I chose Duval today. Duval has an estimated 14,724 records that I could potentially import that are considered vacant land. Okay. So as we're going through here, um, I have the question, would you like to use our standard filters, yes or no? I'm going to go ahead and say no, just so that you can see you have filters that you can choose from in this process. So you can change the property values. They're automatically set from 10,000 to $1 million. So if you want to change that, you can use the slider here, or you can type in the box. We'll use the slider for fun. Yay. I mean, yeah, so I'll stop it there. Very odd number, but that's okay. So as you can see here, my estimated records didn't quite change, but I'm going to continue making changes in my filter. So under most popular, that drop down will have the market value, lot acreage. And these are preset. Again, that lot acreage is set between zero point 0.1 and 160 acres. You also have the land use codes that are automatically populated. So if you see something that you don't want, so say you don't want to mess with vacant land, government vacant land, you can just simply click the X. If you want it back, then you can choose it from the drop down up here, but all of them are pre-selected for you in our pre-selected filters. So like if you say you don't want to change any filters, you're bringing all of them in. Under property information, that's something different that you can use. Like say if you have some of the county's information and you want to look for something specific, you can try that. Okay. I think we've been having an issue with our server, with our provider, our data service provider. So there's something that's been opted out for now. So just keep that in mind. If you have details, you can click there to see those. But you can choose whether or not the choices, it's automatically set for ownership. You're going to get individuals and companies. So you'll automatically have both as the option when you're not choosing filters. If you do choose to choose filters, then you can select individuals or companies. I'm just going to go with individuals today. And so I've made lots of changes, but as you can see, my numbers still stayed the same. So if I go next, I'm going to be bringing in a bunch of records that I don't want because I've made all these changes to the filters. So I want to hit refresh here to get a new count to see what I can bring in. As you can see, it's a substantial difference. It's 6,213 now. Okay. So, and I'm bringing them in from, you click next. If for some reason you left in those filters and you didn't hit refresh, it will show you that on this page. So it's another chance to check your work. You have I have 6,213 property owners that meet my selected criteria. That's the filters that I just selected. I've already imported 12 from Duval County, Florida. So it's letting me know that it's not going to bring in those same 12 properties. Okay. So it gives me the state, the county, that value that I have there, the size range, as well as the land use codes for it, what I chose. See, government is no longer there because I clicked X on it. It is including owners with multiple properties. It is only including one property per owner. However, I'm only bringing in individuals. So this is a great space to check your work. If these filters do not align with what you want to import, it just simply hit back and change your filters, right? So the next thing here is bringing in those records. So I only have 6,113 records. So if I try to bring in all of them, it's going to just give me the option to buy more records. It's going to let me know, warning, hey, you don't have enough credits to pull that entire list. But I can bring in what I do have, or I can add additional credits to make it work. I don't even want to do that. I'm just going to do 10 for the sake of time. Okay. So it lets me know that I brought in 12 previously. I'm bringing in 10 today. I don't need any additional credits now. Hooray. Would I like to tag these records? Yes, because we want to make sure that we're bringing in records that are organized. You're going to be bringing in thousands upon thousands of records. Organization is key. So if you slide a tag on there, for me, it's just going to be Duval County, Florida. Oh, look, it tells me exactly when I did that last. Okay. Um, so I already have a tag in here for Duval County, Florida, but I'm just going to put a different date because today's a new day. Okay. Or whatever else you would like to put for your tag, whatever would be a good identifier for these records that you're bringing in. You're going to bring in more than 10 records, okay? But just make sure you're tagging. So you add that tag. So if you don't see it there, it means it wasn't saved. Would I like to assign these records to a team member? I'm going to say no, but if you would like to do that, you can just simply say yes and go through the drop down and choose one of your team members. Okay. Would I like to add these properties to a deal flow? Of course, I want to add them to a deal flow. That's important. So if I go down here, I'm going to choose the neutral letter deal flow because that's the tried and true classic deal flow from Jack. The others are options as well, like the blind offers. Blind offers, just to give you a quick idea of how that works, you're sending out offers to people. You're not checking to see if they have these you're sending these offers out. You're not checking to see if they want an offer or not. You're just sending them to them because they're in that area and they fit the criteria. You're just sending out blind offers to everyone and hoping one sticks. That's one strategy. The other one here is the neutral letter. You're sending it out and you're a little bit more polite. You're letting them know, hey, how you doing? I see you've got this land here. Can I buy it? And then they'll say, yes, we hope. Okay, so the neutral letter is the way we're going with that. And we're going to start in the prospect status. And as you can see here, all of the statuses for the neutral letter, they're outlined in order here. So same thing, if I chose blind offer, it puts them in order of how I would do blind offers. Okay. But we're going back to neutral letter, prospect. All right. So now that that's been confirmed, okay, what didn't I answer? That I wanted 10. Did a tag.
Do you put save? Not save and close. Never mind.
No, it's supposed to highlight confirm. It normally does. I don't know why it's not doing it tonight, but that's because we made an update. So I'm just going to take a quick shot of this. Sorry, friends. Let them know that everything was filled out and I didn't get to keep it. Oh. All right, let me move this out of the way because I can't see. Like that. Move that over. Okay, cool. So I'll save that for later. All right.
Is it possible that it wants you to import more than 12?
Well, I'm only bringing in 10. Normally, I only bring in 10. Yeah, I do this every week. Yeah, yeah. But that's a good idea. It's okay. So if I go back, maybe if I change my mind on what I want to do, I think it might have gotten angry inside because I changed my. Yep. It just gets upset if I switch the. It got upset because I switched the type of deal flow around. I did too much manipulation. It got a little angry. But that's the thing. It gets, yeah. So that's a quick way to bypass that. If you experience that, just play with it a little. There we go. So we're good. We're in. All right, so now it's processing my import as it should.
Not as acting funny.
All right. So let's see here. So it says I got my records. It tells me it's sent in all 10, which is fantastic. Um, all right. So that's all set. All right, so here are the records that I imported. This is just showing the 10 records that I imported because I'm coming straight from that page. And I'm doing this for the sake of time, just to get it to flow right through here. So all of my property tags are there. You see those. The ID, this is the property ID. Now the ID number that's on the bottom of the letter is the owner ID, or the um, ID number for the owner. So I said owner ID or reference number. That's what I'm looking for. So that is something that you can actually add to your column. So if you see something, if you don't see something in your columns and you like to see it, you can go through, customize, and add it from here. So if I decide to add owner ID, reference number, save, and then that will bring in that column. Now I don't like it down here, so I'm going to move it. I'm going to go back to customize and scroll down here till I see my owner ID. And now these little hash marks here, I can just bring it up. So I'm going to put it on the other side of property type and save it. And so it moved. So that's some of the customizations you can do from the first page of your, or depending on how you want to see your records. All right. So these are all the records that I have. They're all in prospect status, and that allows me to create that prospect neutral letter. Okay. All right. So in here, we're going to actually send a letter out. I'm just going to do it from this page by selecting all of them, just all 10 records here. And then I'm going to go to actions and generate documents. So it's going to have me select a template because we're doing prospect neutral letter. We are going to go to neutral letter, hit next, and then we have REI PrintMail mailing service. We are working through some things there with REI PrintMail. We also have ITI direct mail. That's so that you can actually just download the actual files and send them to ITI so they can mail them out for you. And then some of the other information that we have here would be like other source files. So say if you're working with another mailing service, you can do that. And then I'm going to go with local printer home office. This is not recommended per se if you are doing your own letters at home. If you're sending out thousands upon thousands of letters, believe me, the amount of money that you're going to spend on ink and printing, you might as well just have someone stuff it, fold it, and stamp it and send it out for you. Okay, so, but I'm just going to do these because it's just 10. Some of your offers, you'll want to do it that way. And because that handwritten that handwritten envelope and sending an offer letter with your fresh signature on it is always a plus. Okay, so no, I don't need the files collated. So we're going to go next here. So here are all the files here. This is how you can kind of see the record. See the images of the letter. Open that there. All right, so you have your date, the name. It's going to say one APN number. And just mind you, it's going to send out one letter per owner. And it's sending out one letter per owner because you don't want to send an owner that has multiple properties multiple letters. That's a lot. Okay, so one letter per owner there. And then this is what the letter looks like. It does include, there's your company phone number, your domain name for your buying site, your signature image, which I have to keep reminding them to shuffle. I think in different screens it does shuffle over. I'm using a really large screen. When you print it out, it's in alignment. And then you have your name, your company, if you have a company name. If not, it'll just be your name, your phone number, then of course your domain name there. And then it automatically populates like your time zone, this PS line. In the legacy version, there's a space where you can kind of make changes to this because some of the customizations still live in legacy. But you can do that in the on the legacy side. If you don't like this PS line, you can change it to something else. You also have the reference ID number there. But just keep in mind that these letters, Jack does not recommend making changes to the letters because they are tried and true. They've worked for I don't know how long, but this has brought him to where he is today. So the customizations um, are not encouraged, but they are possible. So if you have questions about customization or you're trying to do something to your letter, let us know so that we can kind of walk you through the legacy version of that. Okay. And we do have, like, in the legacy version, there's an entirely different um, user guide. So there's user guide articles to also help you through that. Okay. So let's see here.
What's the difference between legacy and 2.0, I guess?
So legacy is the former version of Investment Dominator. I'm going to come out of the letter here. Hopefully everybody could see the letter. Um,
Because you have a choice between a legacy and I guess if you're more used to legacy, you'd use the legacy, but if you're just starting, you'd start with the 2.0.
if you're just starting as a brand new student, we are hoping that people will sit with 2.0. The reason being that because 2.0 is going to be the norm moving, pretty soon. We don't have an exact date, but everyone will be well informed before we make the full switch. There are the majority of the functionality for Investment Dominator is present in 2.0. You can get by, but some of the customizations and some of the things that some of our students who have been working in legacy for a really long time, that element needs to be present in 2.0 before we can make that full switch. So we want to make sure that everyone has access to it, but we do recommend using 2.0 on the regular basis. And for smaller things like edits or customizations or help with something like that, we can go back to legacy to do those things for you at this time until they're fully developed in 2.0. I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right, Jacqueline, you had a great question. If you mail out to Georgia, how do I make sure I'm compliant with mailing out to Georgia? Do I need to select something before sending the letter? So that is kind of, there's a disclaimer that you're required to put on the outside of the envelope in Georgia. So for people that may not know, some states have certain requirements about sending out the marketing letters, being our prospect neutral letters. And so in the state of Georgia, they want you to put a disclaimer on the envelope. So that's something that you would have to work to do. There is a user guide article that helps with that. Let me see if it's in 2.0 just yet. If not, we will roll on over to Legacy to take a look at it together. For my friend that asked about the recordings of the calls are under the help section. They're in the user guide as well. So this is a good time to introduce you to help. So if you get lost and you're like, hey, I didn't understand anything Jory said tonight, or say you came in a little bit later and you just want to take a look at what we kind of went over for the basics, you can go to this help section. This is where our user guide is. This is also a place where you can put in your support tickets, feature suggestions. This is also a space where you can join that live training and Q&A call. So if for some reason you're like, where's that link? Go into your Investment Dominator console, go to help. You can come here every Monday. We're here unless it's a holiday, and that's at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. If you fall in between and you're in the Midwest like I am, then you would be at 6 p.m. Okay, but you simply click on that join training session and then you can get right in here. Okay, we have an AI support assistant. it's cute, but it's not trained all the way because that's the thing with AI. AI is exciting. Don't get me wrong. It can do some really, really cool things. So I know that a lot of our technology for Investment Dominator is being geared towards that, like with Property IQ and all of these wonderful things. Our support assistants, but they still have to be trained. They still have to get the information put into them so that they can give you the correct answer because sometimes AI will send you way off into left field. So depending on what it's been fed. So let's keep that in mind so you can use this chat now. But this is our user guide. It is your friend. If you get lost and you don't know anything today, just go to the user guide. You can click Get Started. We have a handy Get Started guide here. It kind of has like a quick video done by one of our support team members, Luis. He kind of goes over the onboarding wizard, what it will look like in 2.0, so you can kind of go through that. But it gives you the basic information that you will need in Investment Dominator, and it kind of goes through some of that information. I'm sorry?
Post on what side?
Somebody
What
got mine.
Post about what?
You said
Oh. You don't have your whole be like, yeah, I got you.
I don't know who's open. Their mic is open.
Hey,
Okay,
This is Noel Gallo, I think.
Australia.
Do
Okay,
this
okay.
one.
That off. All right. Yeah, I just muted her. Okay. And let's see. So again, in the user guide, you have this information here as well. You do have another user guide in 2.0. So if you talk over to 2.0 and go to help, you can get to that user guide as well. So let me check one more thing here. Okay. All right. So here we have this user guide, and then we can go back. If you go down to browse by category, that will kind of break it down even further for you. If you go to live trainings and Q&A calls, you can see the Q&A calls here. So some of them don't show up here, but if you click any of them, it'll open up. If you scroll down to the bottom, all of them will be present here. So you can get into the most recent ones, as you can see. So like this is the one from last week, and then we had one today. This one today will be probably available by the end of the week, probably Thursday or so. But if you want to look at last week's, it's basically the same. We had different questions, of course, but a lot of them are in the same vein. So if you have additional questions, please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out. And yeah, that's all I got. But we do want you to reach out to us if you are experiencing an issue. I'm going to try to see what other questions I can get through in the last 3 minutes here. We did the Georgia. We did where to find the calls.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Noel. Yes, Noel. The call. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know how it doesn't. I don't see here how to put my hand up. I had a question with the whole domain to set up. How can I create the domain?
Okay, if you have a domain name that you'd like to use, go ahead
Yes,
and
I do.
send that over to send us a ticket with your domains in there. Just let us know which one you would like for your buying site and which one you would like for your selling site. And for those of you that don't know, those domains are free. We take care of them. We host them. I mean, we take care of them. They're hosted through GoDaddy, and we cover the cost for them as long as you're with Investment Dominator. Okay.
Okay, awesome. So, where exactly do I send the domain name to?
So you're going to go into the help section of Investment Dominator, and then you're going to create a support ticket. And so when you go into support tickets, you're going to either go add help ticket, and then you're going to go ahead and fill in all that information here and send that in to us.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. And
You're very welcome.
one last thing. The LLC, do I need to have it already before starting this to sell?
No, you don't have to have it to get started. It's really up to you. You can get started as an individual and then add your LLC later. The beauty of all this information is you can change it at any time.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome.
Shuri,
Hello, Jory.
Yes.
Jory, I didn't see where to go for the Georgia. For
For
Georgia, for the
Georgia,
envelope.
yes, that's going to be in the legacy version. So actually, I'm just going to toggle over to legacy really quickly and go into that user guide. So if we go here and you go under help, just go to user guide. And in here, if you type in, I think if you type in Georgia, you should be able to see it.
So explain how to add that. What did you call it? Not compliance, right? But what did you call it?
It's a solicitation. So it gives you the exact information here. Actually, I'll go ahead and throw this in the chat for everyone to
Okay.
take a look at.
And this will show me how to add it to the envelope, correct?
Right, it'll give you the details for it. As far as adding it to the envelope, you will have to go through and print it out yourself on that
Oh.
side. Or if you can connect with, if you're using like REI PrintMail, you can send it over to them and let them know that's what you want to put on the outside.
Okay. But REI Print is not through Investment Dominator, correct?
It's a third-party company, so we do have like an integration. However, you would want to contact them directly to make any changes to your mailing other than the prospect neutral letter, like the classic letter that we send out.
Mm-hmm. And Jory, which one is connected for us to use through Investment Dominator? Is it REI or what did you call it? REI?
REI PrintMail.
Uh-huh. That's the one that's connected that I use. And okay. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to read it because I don't understand. I probably have to read it before I could even ask you questions.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds
Okay,
good.
Jory.
Can I ask you
All
Thank
something
you,
real
right.
Jory.
quick? It pertains to what's on the screen.
All
This
right, everyone. Well,
this
thank you everyone
overview,
so
does it
much
list
for
the
um,
or in here does it list the other states that we would need this disclaimer for? Ooh, ooh.
no, because if you're going to cast your net in a particular state, you do want to make sure that you know the laws there. If we catch something or we catch wind of something, then we'll put it in investment dominator. So like we learned this about Georgia, so we shared an article about Georgia, but that's really a
Okay.
part of the process of choosing what counties you want to go into. Okay. All right, my friends. All righty. So thank you so much again for hanging out with me for an hour. I know that I didn't get to all of the questions tonight, but if you have any questions that are pressing, please, please, please go to help and send us a ticket, whether it's through your 2.0 or your legacy. Always remember that you can get to the home page and that's where your version toggle switch is. So while we prefer you do 2.0, if you find yourself in legacy, the help section is your friend in both of these. All right. Thank you all again. Have a wonderful evening and best wishes in your lamp flipping journey. I'm sure you're all going to do amazing. And as always, I always say, stay hydrated, my friends. Take care of yourselves. Get enough sleep, and don't worry about tomorrow. It's got its own worries.
Thank
So
you. Good night.
just one day at a time and deep cleansing breath. All right. Take care, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
You're welcome.
Like already I've been new, bro. The first day I messed